So I'm gonna, before Ian Jackson, my guest artist, comes on today, I'm just doing a quick screen share of my Etsy shop, and also check out my today's recent video of a tour of my Etsy shop. And I'm just going to show it on here too, doing a screen share of it. Nope. Hold on. And if you hear music in the background, that's copyright-free music by MU Music Unleashed on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel, and they allow YouTubers to use their music in videos and live streams. Okay, so my new collection is called Spirit Flow Collection, and you can read up later. I have it in different areas of actually the description of each one of these products, each one of these artworks explains why I call it the Spirit Flow Collection. It is all alcohol ink creations, either alcohol ink original paintings, or let's see, that's weird. Wait a minute. Why isn't it like, so I have to go to page 2 on this then. Where? Usually it lets me show a lot more. It's not showing me, like, this is not how it usually acts, because usually it lets me go to page 2, see more. Oh gosh, how come? It's not showing me everything. That's weird. I don't know what's going on there. But this one, these are just all thumbnails. Unfortunately, the screen share does not allow me to show a full view of a product or an item. So that's a Bird of Paradise flower. These are all alcohol ink paintings or alcohol ink creations. And 8.5, most of them are 8.5 by 11 inches, ready to be framed. There's a lot more than this, and for some reason I'm stumped as to why it's showing only 9 images right now, because usually I can scroll down and show everything in the whole shop. So I'm not sure why it's doing that. Let me go back to StreamYard. Oh, we have some people in the chat. Welcome. Grayscale Painting, welcome. Queen Bee, welcome. Oh yeah, you're new to my stream. So stick around, Queen Bee. This is just, I'm having a guest artist in 15 minutes. He's a watercolor painter extraordinaire, because he doesn't like me to say he's an expert watercolor painter. And from the UK, Ian Jackson is coming on in 15 minutes, and you will love watching him paint. And Grayscale Painter is here. He was one of my previous guest artists just a couple weeks ago. He's an acrylic painter extraordinaire. And Kathy Newman is new to my stream. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And the screen share, for some reason, is not allowing me to show everything in the shop. Like I usually can scroll down and show everything in the shop. So I don't know why it's not allowing me to do that. There's some glitch happening today. Welcome, though. This is just the beginning, because in about 15 minutes, my guest artist comes on from the UK, Ian Jackson, watercolor painter. He's going to do a watercolor painting live, And I believe it's going to be of an autumn scene with an old barn. And so glad everybody's here. Please click the thumbs up. Please remember that really helps out the channel. It lets YouTube know that there's engagement, and then promotes it to, and then it promotes it more to other channels for under the recommendations. But thumbs up are really important. Thumbs up and comments are really important for showing YouTube in how much engagement there is. And I'm going to try to go back and do the screen share again. I don't think that's good. You know what? I'm going to click out of it. I will click out of that because oh, here we go. Here I'm getting the full thing. Wait, no, that isn't. That's only showing 9 items. Oh, wait, and that's not screen sharing, I don't think. Hold on, let me go back to StreamYard. Yep, I was still on screen share. That's right. Okay. I should turn off this music and watch what I'm doing. I like the music on, but I gotta actually watch what's going on in the chat. And Gracie Shack Art. Oh, I thought you went to sleep already. Gracie Shack Art, welcome. Yes, I wanted to do it. All right, it's only letting me show 9 items, and I don't know why it's not letting me show the whole shop. And these are only thumbnails. I cannot click on these to make them larger. Like this bird of paradise flower is really 8.5 by 11 inches, and it has a longer stem. Most of the thumbnails are really showing you a good idea of the painting, but it's just, I wish the screen share, I already know from a couple weeks ago that the screen share is not going to allow me to click on these and make them bigger and then show you different views of it. So that's a shame. So I should turn this music off on my iPad just a minute and see what I need to follow and see what's going on when I screen share. So just a moment, and let me get into 5 are watching. Excellent. 5 are watching. Oh God, sorry, let me put down the volume. Right. So okay, I see where yeah, I don't know why it's only showing. Let me read the chat a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, Gracie made it. Awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Gracie. Oh, she's staying awake to watch. Oh, good. If you could stay at least 15 minutes, that really helps out rather than just staying for a few minutes and leaving. 15 minutes. I've heard from other YouTubers 15 minutes is what is some kind of a significant amount of time that allows you to gain an hour of watch time or something. Oh, hi, Dina. Oh, yeah, I'm starting off early. I was just trying to do a screen share of my Etsy shop, but I'm running into a glitch, and it's only allowing me to show 9 images instead of 30-something images. I don't know what's going on. It's only allowing me to show 9 images, and these are just thumbnails. Unfortunately, I know there's nothing I can do about these are just thumbnails, and normally if you go to my shop, you can click on these and you'll see full view of these. like this one, the bird of paradise flower, really, that's cropped off right there in the thumbnail, and it's really a much longer stem. Yeah. Fortunately, the thumbnails do show a pretty good idea of the full view, but it's unfortunate that I can't click on these and show a full view plus different views of these different views of the artwork, like in different settings, like hanging on different walls and close-ups and stuff like that. The screen share, I know, will not allow me to do that, but today there's a glitch where it should let me show all 30 something items in the shop, and it's only allowing me to show nine items, and I don't know why. Let's see. Oh, hi, Ian's here already. Oh, hi, JC. So nice to see you, JC. Welcome. Oh, Artsy Fartsy Lovers is here. Welcome. Hi. Oh, thank you for visiting. And since I am having this glitch with you should watch my, it's only a 3-minute video today. I just posted it today. It's a 3-minute video, and it shows a tour of my Etsy shop of all 30 something of my items. For some reason, I'm running into a glitch today where it's only allowing me to show nine paintings, because I have more than just, I have 30 something items, and they're not all just original paintings. They're also other kinds of art creations, all painted with alcohol inks, all painted with the same medium, alcohol inks, whether they're paintings or painted ceramics, painted coaster tiles, and necklace pendants. So I don't know what the problem with this is, so I can just show you these 9 items for now, but otherwise just go to my short 3-minute video that I just posted today. It gives you a better tour of everything. It shows, and it'll in the video I can click on these thumbnails and bring up the full view if you watch the 3-minute video that just came out today. So well, let's see. So, hi, Canal. Oh, I can't speak Spanish, but it's Canal. Hi, Canal. Welcome. Canal, I think, is a musician. Thanks all for being here, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It shows YouTube engagement, which is really important and helps out the channel. Okay, let me switch off of this. Well, let's see. Is Ian ready early? We're just running around. I'm here 3:55, 3:58. Oh, it's 3:58. My watch. Oh, I'm looking at. Okay, got fooled by my second hand. The second hand. Yeah, it's time for Ian to come on. So let me click out of this. Watercolor painter extraordinaire. Oops, I'm using E word. He doesn't like expert. He doesn't like me to use the word expert watercolorist. But I can say excellent, and he may not even like if I say watercolor painter extraordinaire. Wait, so now this one, let's see, I'm gonna delete that. The Etsy shop, and bring Ian on. Oops. Let me turn the volume off.
Oh.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. So nice to see you again here on a Friday.
Is it looking good at that, or is it okay? Is the video fine?
Oh, I need to make you big screen. So everybody else, I'll see you later, maybe, but I need to make Ian big screen, full screen. Now we can see really good.
Hello, everybody in the box. In the box.
In the box, the chat box.
That thing, yeah.
Yeah, that you're pointing. Yeah, that's right. That box.
The chatty people.
The chat box.
The chat box. So you might hear the occasional roar or ooh and oh, because football's on.
Oh, so you have people in your house that are cheering?
Yes. Ooh.
Oh, hi,
Did well to
Kylie.
save that one.
And hi, JC. I did say hello to you. Oh, JC saying has a question mark. I don't know why JC has a question mark.
JC.
Oh, hi, Carolyn. To be free, welcome. So nice to see you.
Is this from a photo? Is this from a photo? It partly is, yes. I'll tell you all about it once we get all sorted and going. But yes, it is partly from a photo, and it's going to be. It wasn't an autumn scene, but it's going to be an autumn scene. Just by altering one or two variables, we're going to turn it from a summer scene into a autumn scene because it's autumn, and we demand autumn-based photos.
Yeah, I'm the one that gave you that idea. You said you don't like to paint seasonal things, right?
Well, do you know what? I'm happy to oblige. I try not to follow the trend of it's this season or it's there's always a season or summer all the year round, and if you do that, you're going to get trapped in a creative circle that will never end. So
maybe. Some people might like it, though.
Well, yeah, fair enough if that's what they like doing, but
if that's what they like doing.
If that's what they like doing, that's great, that's fine. But I kind of think that art's more expressive than just following the seasons.
You're right. But some people that. Oh.
So I don't know how the people in the box feel about that one.
Well, I have a second concern. This whole new thing with the beta.
Beta?
I'm having a problem with it, especially I'm used to using the desktop version on my mobile device, on my iPad. I use the desktop version. So now desktop version, I can't even bring it up. So I keep being in mobile and beta, and I'm not used to these. And I'm just like really struggling with it.
We've got to get used to beta because I believe it's going to become standard soon.
That's right, I know.
Very, very soon. So, I mean, that's why I've spent the last 6 months trying to figure out how to use it. And it's still boggling my mind.
It is?
Yeah, there's some things where I can't find certain things.
No, you should watch this YouTube video by one of they're from official YouTube video. And they gave a little, that's what helped me finally after an hour of struggling of how to upload a thumbnail. Cause I'm like, what, where is it? Or how to upload a bit, I don't know. But that little video explained a lot about, and it gave me.
I mean, they are still plugging things into the beta anyway at the moment. So
they are still plugging things into it. And what happens was this was good information to learn is that you can be in beta, but if they had, like, for example, they haven't set up how to put iCards in or end screens yet. So then you will be routed.
Still go back to classic.
They're gonna route you back to classic for that.
But classic's going away soon, so we all need to start.
Even last night, they're still routing you back to classic for iCards and end screens. They don't have.
They haven't properly sorted out the issues that came along with this new streaming thing that they brought out. But anyway, that's an issue for somebody else to worry about. Excuse me, I'm just going to sneeze. Oh dear.
Bye, Archie. Bye, Archie Party lovers. She has to leave.
All right, then we'll see you later. Right. Well, okay then. Let's talk about this painting. All right.
Yeah, let's talk about the painting.
I assume this building here is a barn, right? And it's it's in the shape of what's called a mansard roof, right? I.e., it's got a pitch like that, and then another pitch on top of it. So it's got it's almost like a curve. So they're called mansard, and they're very popular in the United States of America.
I've never heard that name. You must have gotten the real technical word for it.
Well, because I studied architectural technicianry, that's what they call that type of roof. So, so anyway, the use for barns that are very wide, because they go up high, and then they go across very wide, so you get best of both worlds. But anyway, this barn, it's got trees and it's got hills around it. But I'm going to make these are green normally, these trees, but I'm going to make them all nice and autumnal. And because it's autumn like, I've got the light coming in from here, this direction. It's creating very long shadows, and that's a good way of making something autumn like.
Yeah, that's right, because the light changes.
Yeah, because the way the Earth orbits around the sun is different. It doesn't go right up to the apex top like it does in the summer. It comes down a lot, so you get a lot of low sun. That's why in autumn time you can be blinded by light that's on horizon in its strongest part of day. So so you do get some very long shadows. So I'm going to use those shadows as well to link into things. It's a good way of linking things up.
Kylie Cooper has seen a lot of mansard roofs in Europe.
Kylie has.
Yeah, she's seen a lot of mansard roofs in Europe.
They do them in Europe. Yeah, they're mainly like barns. But when I think of a mansard, kind of, I think Little House on the Prairie, which is American.
And Dina says they're very prevalent where she lives in Iowa.
Yeah, you know, all farming areas are America. You know, in proper countryside, that's where you'll find them. In fact, this is a photo from somewhere in America, in countryside. So now, all that were there, but I thought the foreground were a bit boring. So I put Ye Olde Horse in it. Now, that is not going to be a prominent feature. It's just going to be there to suck up some of the blank space.
Right.
And give us a lead into the actual picture, which is mainly that. That's the main thing.
So the barn is the focal point?
The barn is the main focal point, yeah. The horse is just a lead into it. I'm not going to do it very detailed. And because light's coming from this direction, most of it's going to be silhouetted anyway. So...
All right, so hello JCT again. Hello, Meta Mandela Art and Booksmith. Welcome to my live stream, and so glad you're here. You're a new person in my live stream, I believe. And
yeah, so Carly's right. It's traditionally you have something called a king's or a queen's roof that goes like that, right? But mansard, it allows you that extra bit of space. So that, and in barns, which is what
Oh
this
yeah,
is,
they use every bit of that space in that roof.
you'll use all that space. It'll be
Glass.
full of A and all that bag of mashings what they
No,
put
I
in
forget what they
barns.
call that up there. The up high where you can
Yeah,
climb the tower and you have to get up
the
high there and
the loft area,
yeah, the loft.
and they
That's
put,
what it is.
and it's used for all sorts of things, storing tools and equipment and whatever that farm uses. So anyway, so it's a pastoral scene of I don't know, could be any time period really. I don't know when they started really using
That's a great
mansard.
time period. There's
Eh?
all those barns. A lot of those barns are still existing
Oh
now.
yeah, I mean the use today. In fact, actually, this one, I wouldn't say it's particularly old because it's got the side of the building here is made out of corrugated steel, so that kind of gives it a date because obviously corrugated steel's not been around that long. So it's been around a fair while, but not, it's not the oldest material. I mean, they would have made it out of wood slats at one time of day. So anyway, it's a nice building that's worth a good look at. So anyway,
Oh,
let's make a start.
somebody, yeah, go ahead. You can start. Somebody said in the chat they did not use the E word, but they used another word.
What did they use?
You'll end up knocking out all the words people can use. She said
I'm
he's a very talented artist. Of everybody, he doesn't like people to use the E word. I was saying expert watercolorist. He doesn't want. He told me not to use the E word. So then I started saying
I'm not an expert. I'm just a mere, what they call it, a mere amateur making his way in the creative art world. That's all I am.
So modest. You're so modest.
There we go. So anyway, as is normal. So anyway, just before we go any further, because I know some people might be wondering, what are these things? The rather than actually some paper. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you about the paper as well before we make a start. This is some paper that I'm testing out at the moment. It's Milford 100% cotton paper, and it's £140 now in British measurements. That's
so there's no sizing in it. It's 100% cotton with no. There's 100. It's 100%
no
sizing.
Now this is different, right? Cotton paper has very what they call light sizing, very light amount of sizing in it, if any. This is cotton paper that has what's called hard sizing. Hard sizing. That means it's got a lot of sizing in it, so it acts differently to normal cotton paper. So I am working with it. I'll show you one or two pictures that I've done with it.
Did you say there is a lot of sizing in that paper or not?
In this particular type of paper, it's hard sized. Right? It's really weird because normally cotton paper has a very minimal amount of sizing in it. It's very rare that you get hard sizing, but this paper has Milford paper. It's made by St Cuthbert's Mill, who make Saunders, Waterford and Buckingford paper, but it has a lot of sizing in it.
Yeah, the more sizing in it is more forgiving the paper is, and you can pull up and pull back. I mean,
you can really work it a lot, an awful lot, and rework it. And these are one or two pictures that I've done on it. That's one.
Hi, Kathleen Elliott. Welcome.
So that's one, and that's one I did the other day as well. And you can, that's what you can do really nicely with it. You can get effects like that. You can scrub into the,
Can I see that
you
again?
know,
Oh, I saw that one. You posted that one.
atmospherics and things like that. You can like really work into it, and try doing that with
Alcohol,
normal. No, try doing that with normal uh, wood,
acrylic.
not wood pulp paper,
Oh, I see.
but
With a different kind of paper.
eventually it would just start breaking up on you. But because this is a robust cotton paper and it's got a lot of sizing on it, you can work it a real lot. So
Dina
that's the
said,
advantage of the.
lovely paintings. Oh, lovely paintings. Dina says.
So we better make a start because we're already at 1/4 past the hour as it is.
Yeah.
Are we
Well, I
all
don't know
here?
how long your painting will take.
I don't know. It might be a couple of hours, guys. I would
That's
think
good.
it might be a little bit more. I don't know.
Oh, that's fine.
Right. Well, I know. Let's see if we can speed paint it.
Hi, old beer buzzard.
I'll shut up and you can talk.
No,
That's a good combination. I'll
I
try and explain what I'm doing, but I don't end up concentrating. So, but first things first, you know what I do by now if you've watched me on a few occasions. I always work from back to front.
oh
So
yeah.
farthest thing away from me, and that helps with the creation of a sense of depth when you're working. So, and you don't have to be overly. Oh, I know what I've got to do. I've got to put my picture up before I do hotels, or I'll not know what I'm painting.
Oh, your reference photo.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm doing this. Trying to paint it without my reference. I'm going to try and not be overly like burdened with the reference, but um, here we go. I'm there. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Right. So first things first, I want to ever so slight glow on the in the sky. So I'm going to get some lemon yellow in some water, very watered down brush, and I'm going to get that over it. And it don't matter if it goes over that. It don't matter. It don't really matter. This is a really light, what they call uh, atmospherics. This will help with the atmospherics later.
We have a question.
Right. Go on.
Where did you get your reference photo from?
This one was from Pixabay. If anybody wants it, I can,
I love
you know,
Pixabay.
contact me and I'll send it to them if they want it.
Right, they're copyright free, and they're also you can use most of the photos are. I mean, all of them are copyright free, and most of them can be used for commercial use. Like only every now and then you have to check an image, and an image might say for editorial use only.
Yeah,
But most
occasionally,
all of them are for commercial use as well. And
occasionally
no
you do get the odd one or two, but the idea of Pixabay is that it's free for use. That's the whole point of Pixabay. So it's a good resource if you've not ever used it.
Oh, I use it. I've used it so much. Oh my goodness.
It's great. It's great that we've got stuff like that these days, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so that a really light dousing of yellow. I don't know if you
Oh,
can
it's
see.
gonna be like a sunset or sunrise.
Not so much. It's just to give it a bit of a glow, an overall glow. Oh, I'll tell you where I need to put a bit more.
Because if you're gonna put blue on top of that,
Yeah.
that's not gonna work.
Is it? Oh, right. Well, it's what I do normally. So you'll be surprised. I thought that when I first had a go at it, when I was shown that you do this, I thought, well, it's gonna go. If you look at skies that have got a bit of a glow in it, one, they're not necessarily blue anyway. It neutralizes to a grey blue. So right, so let's test thine theory out. It might do. So I've got a nice blob of blue there, like a cobalty blue.
We have another question.
Oh, go on then.
What kind of pencil did you use?
What kind of pencil did I use? If I can find it. Do you know where I put it? Honestly, I had it about 5 minutes ago.
You did not use a watercolor pencil.
No. Oh, right. This, the way I do it, I draw it out first on a piece of paper. So, right, with watercolors, you should never be drawing lots and lots on it because it can damage it. So I draw one out like that, yeah, and then I transfer that because I've put graphite on the back of the paper. I transfer that onto the actual painting that I'm going to do. But when I originally drew it out, I used one of my go-to pencils. It's a clutch pencil.
A clutch pencil?
Yeah,
oh,
you know,
I never heard of that. I don't know. You mean a mechanical? We call that a mechanical
no, a mechanical. I'll show you the difference between a mechanical pencil and if I can find that. Oh dear. They're vastly different, but I can't find a pencil. Can I find a mechanical pencil? Can I? No, I cannot believe it. But anyway, mechanical pencils are different. They use like a clicking system. This doesn't. It has a grip. It has a 3-point grip on it. A clutch pencil has it grips the lead. Mechanical pencil, you press down on it and it clicks it down and holds it. It's a different type of pencil. They are similar, but these are vastly superior, I think. Clutch pencils. They're a lot more expensive, though. So anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to redo that now. Right. So anyway, I've got a nice splodule of blue, and I'm gonna. This side is going to be light. That side's going to be dark because that's where the light's coming from. And have you noticed it's not gone? It's not gone green.
Oh, oh.
And yet there's still another. There's still bits of. Yeah, I mean, it's a reasonable assumption.
Your yellow is so light, and your blue is a little bit
because it's a dominant color. It's not got the strength to be the light yellow that I put in with really a lot of water. Sorry, my English. I do apologize. And what it does do, is it gives it a nice afterglow of light, rather than it being a boring blue sky. We aren't being. I don't know. It does add slightly to the thing itself. I don't know what the people in the chat think.
Chat about what? What do they think about what? About the blue? About the sky, you mean?
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, that's for me. That's
nobody. I think everybody's saying. I think the yellow looks like glowing. Yes.
Yeah, it's got it's only a very afterglow. It just adds that extra bit of interest to the sky. And quite a few watercolor artists use that. I mean, you later on, if I wanted to, wanted to emphasize that I could put a little bit of magenta into it, into the sky, but in this case I'm not going to, because it's the type of light that's yellowy, not red. It's not a sunset. It's more yellow, so it's higher up in the sky. So if I put a magenta in there, it might look a tiny bit out of place. But if it were a sunset, I'd probably put some magenta in that, and make the clouds around it look pink. And you've got an instant. You've got an instant like sunset without faffing about. So what we're going to do now,
is that just like afternoon light? It's not morning or evening light?
It's late afternoon, I would say.
Somebody was asking that. Yeah, Meta Mandela Art and Booksmith. She was saying, is that early morning or evening light? So no, it's like late afternoon light.
So it's strong enough. You know the type of light, if you're out and about in the autumn period and sun starts shining directly in your eye, and you have to put your hands up to your eyes to stop it from blinding you. That kind of light. That kind of, you know, maybe 3, maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Not quite at the time when it's going to be
almost sunset, because like in autumn, the days get shorter.
I'm not saying exactly, just before it starts getting sunsetty.
I don't know. Somebody was Kylie was saying, is that called twilight? Maybe she's twilight.
I think twilight is the very end of the sunset, isn't it? Where you just get one last little glimpse of light.
I think she was making it sound like it's before.
I don't know. Anyway, whatever it is, it's like a glow. It's a glow of strong light, but it's not that perceptible.
Late afternoon, Kylie said. Late afternoon.
Yeah, late afternoon. So the next thing we need to do now is we've got some mountains in background. Now they are very in the background, these mountains. So they're just going to be fuzzed out while that's still slightly wet. And in fact, just to make sure that they are slightly wet, I'm gonna go around the areas where that mountain is with some water. And we're going to mix a purpley colour, a very blue orientated purple, you know, something that's blue biased. But I'm going to make it really, really translucent, because we don't want it to be strong. And
and that's still for the sky. You're talking about for the sky.
I'm going to use that same blue because I want it to slightly tie in with the sky. Because if you think about it, sky does go over mountains, doesn't it? As we look towards a mountain, the sky in front of us. So it needs to be a little bit orientated with that colour. So I'm going to use that same blue again, but I'm going to put a little bit of purple in it. But I'm trying to get it to be as translucent as I possibly can. And what I will do is tilt it when I'm doing this, because I want it to mainly go down. So that's there to there, and then that mountain range continues on like that. And I'm going to dab a little bit.
And that's gray. That's gray you're using now.
It's like a blue. It is a grey. Yeah, it's greyed out, but it's not grey absolutely. But if I look at it, it's quite blue. but it is grey blue, yeah. I'm going to put a little bit more just to make sure that you guys can see that, but I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be too strong because it's something that's in the background.
Have you painted barns before?
I've painted buildings and barns before, yeah. Not necessarily one of this particular thing, but I've painted old English barns.
Is anything on this painting a learning curve for you, or is it like, oh yeah, like you have your techniques, you know all?
Do you know what I believe? Because of the semi-random nature of watercolor painting, every painting's a learning curve.
Really?
Yeah, of course it is. What's point in doing it if you're not going to learn from it?
Well, I don't know. I think it's a nice, comfortable place to be if you're like, I know, I know the techniques for this. I know I'm going to do that, and I know how this is. I know how to do this, and I know how to create that.
I agree with you. If you were doing something on a comfortable level, yeah, but it's comfortable for me. It's only basic stuff that I know already anyway. So it's no big deal to me, this kind of painting. I'm just trying to make sure that that's.
So I'd be interested to hear what you say that you learn in this painting.
I think the key thing I want to learn about, get better at this area here. It's got some metal corrugation. I want to learn better how to express that without painting every single bit of corrugation.
Okay.
I want to get that. I want to get that feel of corrugation, but I don't want to be painting the details. So that's going to be a bit of a curve for me. That because I don't know. I'm not fully decided yet what I'm going to do with it, but we'll reach that when we get to it. So I'm going to move on to some yellow now, because predominantly a lot of the greenery and the trees and what have you are quite yellow, because they've gone from being that lush sap green, and they've mellowed out a lot and become a lot more yellow. So round here there's a boatload of trees that I'm going to just suggest are in there, and I'm just putting the beginnings of it in like that.
All right. When I'm quiet, it's because I'm typing. I'm trying to keep up with the chat.
All right. And here also there's trees, but there's a little bit, strangely enough, there on that one there, there's a bit more definition of green in that. So I'm gonna, while it's wet, I'm gonna chuck a tiny. We're talking very light colours here because these are very backgroundy stuff.
If you like what you're seeing, everybody, please give thumbs up. It tells YouTube that about the how much engagement there is, because we only there's more people in here than there are thumbs up.
Right. So the grass in the background, I've got some of the effects that I need to do are quite dry brush. Now this is why I've got this my dabby thing. So I'm gonna take all the excess water off, and I'm gonna.
Is that a paper towel?
No. It's a
old sock.
An old sock, a cloth, something that's water absorbent cloth. And you just dab a bit off, and that's dry brush ready to do dry brush work. Now I'm going to do a little bit of dry brush work with some of that green here.
But you have to wash that after a while, right?
Yeah, you do, yeah. But I've got I'm going to add a little bit. It's a control system if I want to do dry brush work. I've already applied some green to my brush, and I'm thinking, oh, it's a bit too much, that. So it kind of helps you control it. Let me get a bit. Now, this side here, again, I want it to be, a lot of this, I want it to be quite dry brush. So I'm going to, can you see how that's fairly dry brushy?
Okay. Right. That helps you control.
Yeah. It's
Control the area.
yeah, I've got a lot more control over what it is the effects and the things that I'm doing. It's almost like direct colour straight to the paper. And what I'm doing is I'm applying different bits of yellowy light green area to that. This is a base coat for this area. I'm not going to be doing an awful lot with this area because the key area is going to be that. So, and all it is really, I'll see if I can put a little bit of brown in that as well. You know, just to suggest, you know, bits of movement and undulation in the grass and in the.
Somebody has a question about your pencil. It was a clasp pencil?
No, a clutch. Clutch
pencil.
They're called clutch pencils. And what they do is, what it is they've got 3 prongs or something like, or sometimes 4. And what they do is they open up, and when you press the button at the top, it opens up, and then when you let go, it clasps back in, and it holds your lead inside it, and that's called a clutch pencil.
Okay.
So we'll continue on with getting some of this. I really want. I'm putting bits of light stuff in, but I'm doing it really dry brush because it's.
You're painting different shades of green.
Well, first of all, yellow. That's your undercolor, and then later on, when I want to put my dark and mid tones in, I'll put a little bit of green in. So all this at the first part is your undercolor, right? And I'll bring that right out here. I'll add a little bit of mid-tone green to it to help it out, and then after that, everywhere where there's shadows, I'll put a strong dark shadowy green or whatever for the shadows. And that's my plan for the majority of getting this grass area done. Because, I mean, it's oh, I know what I've got to do as well. Yeah. So let's speed this process up now. You've seen me do most of this. So I'm gonna that area. I'm not going to be overly fussy about that area because that's going to have a dark shadow in that area there. So, and let's get at this stage. Let's get really, really dry and go. And it's more about
You're doing really dry brush.
Yeah, it's more about texture at this stage. Round here, It's more to do with texture than anything else. Because we're literally, that's probably your closest point in the picture. So I'm more interested in getting the textures right there than I am getting the colours.
All right, I have to get your channel link so that I can keep putting your channel link in the chat. But and I'm still trying to navigate this like new thing.
It's not easy, is it?
No, last night was really hard, and then finally I said, "Oh, let me watch a video about if they can explain this to me." And they did.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of other features about YouTube beta that I didn't know about, like so it was helpful. Because I was racking my brain and kept going in circles for an hour. Like, no, wait a minute. How do I upload my thumbnail? How do I upload my thumbnail? I don't see where I can do it. And then by watching that video, it helped me out. But now I'm trying to do a search, and I don't want to do a search of my channel. I want to do a search of YouTube.
Right, so we've got a nice, interesting. We've got the vast majority of the painting blocked in now. So now we've gone past that early stage, we can start looking at this this building here, where I'm going to need a little bit more precision. So I'm going to swap over to a smaller brush now. So this is where I'm going to start making some key decisions. How do I represent that this corrugated metal?
Oh, that's going to be your learning curve for today.
Right. So I think I'm still going to go with the actual building itself. Right. Take into account lights coming from here. Right. It's got strong light hitting this side, but this side is going to be darker, and it's like a white but slightly blue tinge to it. So although I like this brush, I'd have to paint it quite dry. So what I'm going to do is, because I've just remembered I've got something that might do the job a lot better, I'm going to use one of these, which is a rake brush.
A rake brush?
Yeah, if it can you see that?
What? Oh, yeah.
It has little prongs on end of them.
Oh, right.
So
I've never seen a brush like that.
what I'm doing at the moment is I'm making like a turquoisey blue, right? And I'm gonna see if that works. That's looking promising.
All right, I'm still trying to get your link. I had to go over to Classic Studio.
Well, don't worry about it.
Classic. I could not figure out how I'm supposed to do that.
In a minute when I'm having a breather, I'll put it in myself.
No, I got it. Now I'm gonna go back and see if I can figure this out. Well, yeah, right now, everybody, I'm not looking at the chat right now. Sorry. Let me get back to the chat.
I don't know whether you can. I'm gonna slightly get so.
Oh, okay, let's go here.
See if we
You're trying to do the corrugated metal right now, right?
Yeah.
That's his learning curve for today.
Now, there's little bits that are slightly darker than other bits, so I'm just accenting them.
Oh gosh, here we are.
So I'm putting like a reddish purple into that. Right, before I try and go, on this corrugated metal, there's certain bits that are rusting, and
oh, that's right, the rust.
once that's dry a little bit, I'll introduce some rustiness to it. I don't want to do it just straight away because it might just bleed into it. Now, this is one of the reasons why I don't like doing stuff like this, because it's a little bit fiddly. And as you know with me, I'm not right keen on fiddliness.
I know, I can't understand that. I look at your paintings and I'm like, they look so detailed to me. I'm like, they look like they were fiddled with. I don't know. I don't know what you mean.
I just find it really tedious and boring doing it. It's not.
A lot of your paintings are so detailed though.
I like things to be fairly loose and, you know,
Like that shipping harbor, like the docks,
yeah.
the docks and all the wires and the poles and this and that and like.
I suppose you have to paint what you've got in front of you, aren't you? But so before I start getting too detailed with this, we'll move on to another area of that. What I will do now is rather than it all have this like universal set of lines going down as though it's brand new, I'm gonna like smudge bits, and that'll give it like a feel of oldie. You know, some bits are a bit battered and old and.
And Carrie Bridges says, Ian, this is so lovely. Watercolors are her favorite.
What were I saw something the other week that said watercolors. It's one of the most demanding things, but it's one of the most rewarding. And it is. I mean, when you get something right with watercolors, it's an hard battle getting it right. Not to say that other art forms aren't. You've got a battle with every art form that you do.
Yeah.
But because you have to do a lot of battling with watercolor, it kind of feels a lot. I don't know. It does. It make you think, "Phew, I've got over that mountain."
And Kathleen Elliott says, you make it look so easy.
Yeah, the only reason why I make it look easy is because I've been doing it for nearly 30 years now. So I've got the experience under my belt to know when and what to do and when and what not to do. So you have to keep battling with it until you get to the point where you're in control of it.
We have Carrie Bridges says she says watercolor is like going to war, and then Kylie says it's not a battle, it's a dance.
It is, yeah.
Which one? Is a war or a dance? A dance or a war?
It's both. You have to battle with it sometimes, but most of the time it's a nice dance if you know the footsteps.
Okay.
If you know the footsteps, and you've got to learn the footsteps because nobody can dance without knowing the footsteps, can they?
Yeah.
and that's what it is. And that's what it is with all kinds of art. You got to learn the footsteps. Once you've got the footsteps, you can express yourself in whatever way you want. See, I'm now starting to feel like I've got a bit of confidence with this now. It's starting to come to the point where I'm thinking, yeah, I've got a good control over this particular painting.
Wait, you finished the corrugated metal, or no? You're going to add rust to it.
No, I'm just doing bits of detailing on the building now, just to show that because corrugated metal, right? They can only make them in sheets of certain sizes. So they were all cobbled together, these buildings, with loads of sheets of metal, obviously, and some of which are not exactly proper standard size. You know, they might have just had a spare sheet hanging around that just about covered it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what they used to do with these buildings. And there's a few little objects that I didn't ought to be drawing in yet, but I'm going to put them in anyway. So there's like a door there. I'm just going to represent it for time being there. And I believe there's a window there as well. So I don't forget. The only other thing what we've got to do, I'm going to go to a bigger brush because I'm faffing about with detailed brushes when I should be hammering it out. I'm going to mix up a dark colour, a warm browny colour, and that's going to be this white area here is the barn entrance, but it's wide open, but obviously it's indoors, so it's going to be dark. But I'm not going to make the mistake of putting black there because that will totally ruin it.
So you put gray?
So I'm putting a dark grey there, yeah. But it's got a little bit of brown in it. Well, it will have in a minute anyway. Just to add interest to it and add depth. Because unfortunately, what just adding black does to an image is it kind of like makes it look flat.
Oh, okay.
Which is unfortunate.
Kathleen Elliott says you're so light-handed.
I don't think I am though. I feel sometimes that I'm a little bit a bit too heavy-handed. There you go. So that's get it a bit of texture there. So that's that side of that building done. Now this building is also still made of corrugated metal. This side, but it's painted in a like a red colour, which gives it that classic mansard shed kind of feel.
Like the classic red barn.
Yeah, classic red barn. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So
the other sides are wood. It's like that only that one side or two sides that are the corrugated metal, and the other side.
No, this is also what it will have been at one time of day. This will have been the frame will have been wood. It will have been a wood one at one time of day, but over years it'll have like gone through a bit of wear and tear, and they'll have replaced it with metal, corrugated metal. But to make it look like a classic barn, they've done it in corrugated metal and painted the roof red and painted the sides white, but the white's like faded off it over years. So right, so I'm getting close to a reddish colour. Yeah, that's the one. And again, I'm going to use that brush again. This I don't know whether it's called a rake, this one, but that's what they normally. Some are called rakes, and there's another one that they call them, but I can't remember what that is. So it's a brownish. Again, it's like a earthy browny red. So I suppose if you've got something like Venetian red or English red or anything that's red oxide, you're on a winner. But I'm going to mix one up here. So now I'm going to be fairly light with this because the light is hitting this, so I don't want it to overburden it. I want little bits of white still showing so that you can see that there's light hitting the ridges. Now we'll come down this side of the building. That will be darker because this part of the building here is going to put it in a shade, and we'll deal with shading later on, but
Right.
not to make this too one-dimensional. I'm going to add a bit of tone into it, a different tone to it. Now, what does that do? That goes like that. Let me just get a little. It's a bit too dry, me paint now. This goes like that. And there's a little bit of the building that protrudes out there, but I'm not going to go into major detail there because it's too far away to see anything. I'm just going to suggest that there's a continuation of the building there. Now that comes right down to the ground there, so I'm gonna let that come down a bit, but I'm not bothered about detail there because by the time you get to this part here, it's quite dark and you can't really see anything. So that's the next thing to deal with, which I'm going to get some blue, mix it into that red.
You're finished with that, the corrugated metal side, right?
I have, for time being, I want to let it settle for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I might go back and do one or two little highlights here and there to give it some definition. But for the time being, I'm just going to make sure that we've got this bit defined here. I want to make sure that's clearly dark. All right. This will dry a lot lighter, by the way. I know it looks as though it's dark now. So
you should know by now. You know, like how dry.
Oh yeah. You get used to it eventually. I might nip it down a tiny bit. There you go. But it is dark all that area anyway because light's coming from that, and it's kind of blotting the light out there. Now, as such, because that's the case, that bit of the roof there is casting a shadow across there. But I'm just going to put a very, very, very thinner than that, shadow that goes down like that. And it's about blocking the shadows in now. And I know one area I've not done yet that I ought to get done. It's that there. And then I'm going to block a little bit out of that there. There you go.
But you don't have barns like that near where you live?
We have barn. We don't tend to go for the mansard kind of arrangement. I mean, I mean, to be frank, most working farms don't. They have industrial barns these days.
Oh yeah, these days.
I mean, this is more.
Barn.
This is an oldie worldy thing.
Old, yeah.
I mean, it looks as though it goes back to turn at 20th century, some of that. So, let's see if we can do a little bit in.
Grayscale Painting says this is coming together quite nicely.
Oh, thank you, Grayscale. Appreciate that. Right, so that goes in a bit. For an insignificant thing, this barn has got an awful lot of detail.
For an insignificant thing.
So, and you've got to be careful, because if you wanted to put your horse as that main feature, you would have to be careful how much detail you put in it. You probably have to stop at this point.
Right there, just stop right there then?
Yeah, and start concentrating on your horse.
Oh, okay.
But because the horse is not necessarily, it's just filling a gap. It's not a big deal. So while that's all sorting itself out, I'm going to go back a little bit to my greens with a slightly dry brush and see if I can pick out. Right, I'm going to dab it out to get rid of all the excess of the paint and get kind of. It just adds that extra bit of definition there, without it being overly detailed.
Yeah, that's, you didn't put your full name in for your in your name. You didn't put your full name, so
I know it's always only just it always just comes up here because I just put that in. That's what I put in, you see. So
okay, our good friend is Ian Jackson, and I'm putting again his channel link in the chat.
I'll just stop a second and I'll put my name in.
Yeah, I got it. I have it already. I have it saved already, so I can just I can keep pasting it in.
It don't look like mine, though.
Please check out his channel, and I know so many people are enjoying it. Now I don't know if everybody's subscribed to him or not.
Hello all, there I am. I'm there. So if you go to that, if that one don't take you, because it don't look like mine, that for some strange reason. Because I've got a name that says Rainbow Color Graphics on mine.
Right. Oh, and then Kylie says she enjoys and appreciates how Ian explains the process.
Thank you, Kylie. I know Kylie does really good videos, so check Kylie out as well.
Kylie's from Scotland. She has 6,000 subscribers. Yeah, it's so weird because like we both got 1,000 subscribers in the same week. It was like a few years ago. We both got 1,000 subscribers in the same week, so we did a double giveaway. But then after that, she just shot ahead of me, and I'm like, I don't know.
Wait,
I don't know. It's unexplainable. I don't know. So anyway, she has a really great hardcore. I mean, a great devoted audience, dedicated audience.
Oh, she should. She does some good videos.
Yeah. and she's mixed media, journal
Very,
making, and
very,
comes up with a lot of good ideas for like
very popular.
did use it or junk, use it or lose it, use it or lose it. So she would come up with these series like that people would just be people would just like be so attracted to and want to follow along with her. The junk, use it or lose it series, she did that, and another series on the positivity. She's doing a positivity deck, positivity journaling, and she has her own Facebook group for that.
Go on one of Diana's things like this, maybe. Quick plug for you, Diana.
Yeah, she's never done a live stream ever. So yeah, I know, Kylie. Maybe one time you could be my guest. Maybe you could be my guest artist sometime.
If you got a webcam, you can do it. Right.
And if she doesn't, and if you don't have a webcam, she uses a really good camera for filming.
All right. Does she film directly to camera?
So
I'm not sure as to what
you can get the Logitech, whatever Logitech webcam for just $70. Like I got the C930, but a lot of people use the C920.
Yeah.
It only costs around $70 on Amazon. But oh, me and Kylie will talk about that. I'll see if she is interested. Oh, John Quinn, a Kylie Koo fan, loves Kylie Koo's channel. Yeah.
Let's see if I can give a little bit.
Welcome, John Quinn. I think you're new to my live stream. Welcome. Oh, Kylie, you're sweet. You're too sweet.
Right, one really good thing about watercolor painting is it's that you should try to get used to is connecting things by bits of tonal value. So that's what I'm going to do with all my shadows. Different objects are all going to connect up to one another by means of my shadows, and then there's like a cohesion in the painting. So
because you're connecting, because you are using a same dark. I mean, you're repeating a color in different places.
I'm going to use pretty much the same value of either value or color to suggest all the
shadows.
All the shadows, yeah, as best I can anyway.
What is it? A grayish purple?
No, it's a bluey color. But I mean, it could be a grayish purple if you wanted it to. I'm not saying you've got to do it. It all depends. It all depends on your color palette, what you feels right for you.
Right, different colors could still work.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's one of them things that's down to tonal values, not necessarily color.
Like the right tonal range.
Yeah, get the tone right, get the picture right. I keep saying that to people, and hopefully we get into.
I would say that would be a good idea. You like if you were trying to use a reference photo, print it out in color, print it out in black and white, and then whatever colors you're going to use, match it up to like what tones you see in the black and white photo.
Yeah, you can do. That's one way of doing it. Because unfortunately,
because a lot of times I don't like, I can't do tonal range. I don't think about tonal range, and that would help. That may help me.
Unfortunately, the brain has a nasty habit of confusing us with. It makes us think that a certain color is something, and it isn't. So we have to get away from just. We have to use other tools to be able to represent.
Yeah, you have to use tools.
Right, so around here there's quite a bit of I assume that would be what the tree is projecting. So I'm gonna. Now another. I said I wanted to make it autumnal, right? Well, it might be time now to bring out the thing that's going to make it autumnal. I'll start with this side.
All right, hold on. Somebody has a question this time.
Oh.
Well, for the Kathleen Elliott says, "What kind again, Diana? Logitech? Yeah, Logitech.
Yeah.
Most YouTubers use the C920. C920, right?
The C920 is the good standard one.
Yeah, I got the C933 in the case I want to do backdrops of, but never mind about that. Just get the
you don't really need that. It's a bit overkill for what we do.
Whatever. I had another YouTuber suggest that to me, so I just went ahead and got that just in case I want that feature in the future. But the C920 is a good one, good webcam. It only costs like $70 on Amazon, and it's really good quality audio and video. I'll put it in the chat. Here it is. It's the Logitech C920. You can get it on Amazon. Logitech C. Webcam.
Oh, dear. All right. Right, I'm just cutting things up a bit.
Kathleen saying color blindness.
It can be an issue, yeah. I would imagine.
I mean, like what we were talking about. It's just how it's not colorblind. It's just how our brain works.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just how our brain reprocesses things. It kind of like tricks us into thinking it's something that it's not. And when we actually then look at it in different circumstances, we can. There's a classic thing, right? You get a blob of white and you put black round the edge of it, and then you get exactly the same and you put a blob of white. Sorry, a blob of. Yeah, you do opposite with each one, right? And the white in the middle looks different because it's surrounded by black. It actually looks darker than the one that's the opposite way. So, right, I've just I'm masking this off because I want to. No, because put that to one side because I might need it later.
Wait, you're blocking that off? You're masking that off?
Yeah, I'm going to mask that off.
Are you going to do some splattering?
Yep, good old splatteration.
Splatteration.
Right, right, so now we need a super splatty brush. Splatty brush. Nice fluffy brush. Can hold loads of water.
The fan brush, people. I think you can use any brush as long as the paint is water.
Yeah, so as long as it holds plenty of water.
Yeah.
It don't really matter. Right, so first of all, I'm going to go for again back to that light yellow. And remember, in a painting, you've always going to have a key colour that's throughout the painting, and it's this light yellow for me this time round.
It's right, the light yellow?
Yeah.
Which doesn't even show through much anymore.
Well, that's it. It's just helping build that image up. Not every colour that you paint onto a a picture will absolutely in the end show through. But it's like a grounding paint that is present, and when you look more intensely at it, you can see that it's there. Now I'm going to be a bit more aggressive with it by really giving it a good whack. And this is where I get paint everywhere but on the painting. Yay! Right, so I'm going to go for a light green there. And just.
So what color were you
put,
spattering? You were
right?
spattering light green?
And I splattered really light lemony yellow, and then I splattered some green into it. But I'm just going to introduce a tiny bit. It's a bit wet at the moment, but I'm going to introduce a tiny bit of orangey red. Now I'm going to leave that now for a bit to dry, because that's going to mellow out a lot. And just to make sure that it does, I'm going to take some of it out already. Make sure that we get an even coverage.
And then you're adding orange and red. Oh yeah, for autumn.
I'm gonna have red. Yeah. It all depends on how autumny you want it to look. When trees start going first, they go light green to yellow.
Oh.
Then after that, they go orange, red, brown, dead.
Oh wait, and before that, some of them turn a violet color also.
Yeah. Some trees.
A red violet.
A very aggressive purpley color. In fact, I've even seen a leaf that were blue.
Oh my goodness!
So it depends on what types of trees you get and what they've been doing over the year. Now, am I happy with that yet? Do I need to move it on a little bit? Yeah, because that bit there, this lower bit here, there's another tree in front of it, and it's a much redder tree. This is like just turning, but this one here is like you say, a burgundy colour. So I'm gonna round that bit there. So let's again. No, what I'll do this time, just to differentiate, because I don't want it to blend that much, I'm going to get some yellow ochre, and that's going to be my underpaint, like that. So this one's gone like a yellowy colour, like slightly on its way towards browning. But just to make it so it's vivid and strong, I'm going to get some, I don't know if it's alizarin crimson, kind of a red. So, right. They got instant, what they call it? What do they call it?
What are you talking about?
Instant autumn.
Instant autumn.
I'm going to make it so that certain things like that. happen. There you go.
You're going to go back to working on the barn again now?
I may do. We've got this to do first. This tree. Which is a challenge in itself because it looks like that tree. Most of the leaves have fallen. It's in the distance, so I don't want to be using. I don't want to use this particular technique. This is going to be more to do with long, thin lines than anything else.
The other tree, you're going to keep it bare, like with no leaves.
Well, virtually bare, and it's not going to be absolutely bare. It's going to have the odd splodge or two, but it's not going to be as vibrantly strong as that. Because one, that's close up to us and we can see detail, and two, that's in the distance and most of its leaves have fallen off. It must be a different type of tree. So
far to me, it looks like the barn and the horse would be the focus of interest. Both of them would be the focus of interest.
All I'm suggesting with this, right, I'm trying to, in the narrative of the painting, I'm trying to say, look, it's highly shadowed, therefore it's in the daytime, but it's got a lot of shadows, therefore it's autumn. The trees and leaves have autumnal colours in them. Yeah, that all they are is indicators as to what kind of time of year it might be.
Oh, you know, Elf Lord's Journey just came in the chat. He said hello.
Hiya, Elf. So, next thing to do is get us as branches, as tree trunk in place and ready to go. So, what I like to do at bottom of a tree is go. Don't be overly concerned about it looking absolutely perfect. It's a tree at the end of the day. They come in all sorts of different shapes. And then you've got key main things like that.
And you have, what was the last thing you said? You have what? Key main?
Key main branches like that. Right?
Right.
There you go. That's the crux of the tree. Now we need to alter it ever so slightly in the sense that we need to be a little bit lighter. All right. And we're a bit more flicky now. I'm just using the very tip of the brush. A good brush to do this with is a rigger brush that's got a really long, thin.
What's that?
A rigger brush. It's a long, thin brush.
That's like a liner, a liner brush.
Yeah, like a liner brush. Yeah. And what I'm going to do now that I've got that applied, all that paint, what I can do is go back to this brush. You know, that's got those.
That's a flat brush. Oh no, the
rake in it. Right. Let's wet it, and we're going to fuzz it out a little bit. Because on a tree, you can't see everything solidly all the time. Some bits are fairly solid, and other bits are not. Right, I'm going to add a little bit of colour to that now. Just a tiny sprinkle. I might need to make it a little bit darker, that. And it suggests a tree that's at the end of its yearly life cycle. Now, if you wanted
Why
to,
are you using that brush?
because what I'm doing is I'm feathering. I've done a lot of strong lines in it to suggest branches,
Right.
and I'm kind of like fluffing them out a bit and getting rid of it, so it's not that obvious. They're like lost and found edges. You look at a tree and it's not
Oh yeah,
a lot of what artists get wrong when they do a tree is they do every branch solidly, and it just does not look real.
Oh,
So
right.
so what you do is you feather it out and just make it slightly abstract, and you see bits of branches. What
Right.
I'm gonna do, I want to introduce a bit of a little bit of splatteration.
Oh, and then Elf Lord's Journey says he uses that same kind of brush for all kinds of effects.
Yeah, it is an effects brush. That's what it's for. So you can. All right. Now I've got a little bit of definition in that. You know, there's a little bit. What I can again do is fuzz it out a bit, make it in not quite defined, but still keep some of that branch work. There you go. It's an happy tree. Well, it's not. It's a really sad tree actually. 'Cause it's coming to
It's
the end of
sad
its year.
tree.
It's a sad tree.
Why? Because it doesn't
And
want winter coming?
because you don't want winter coming. It's not. It's happy that spring's on its way, but it's a sad tree because it's end of year.
Spring's not on its way. Winter's on its way.
Well, that puts the point that it's things also on its way. Spring's on its way. It's one season away.
Okay.
You got to look at bright side of things.
Yeah,
Right.
I
So
know.
now I've got a lot of these tones in. I know now that this here, this shadow, isn't strong enough. But before we do anything like that, before we do any more faffing about, I'm going to get some more of these potential shadows in.
He said,
And
Elf Lord Journey said that brush makes great grass.
yeah, they can do. Yeah, they used a lot for grasses and random expressions of various things.
Oh, hi,
Whatnot.
Norgus R. Oh, sorry I missed I've been missing your shows. I caught your show Tuesday morning, and I've been meaning to try to get to your shows other mornings, but hopefully next week I can get to more of your morning shows because they're uplifting, especially Tuesday therapy Tuesday, whatever it's called, Tuesday therapy art therapy, Tuesday art therapy. It's so nice to see you.
So it's we're starting to get a bit more definition in tonal values that we need for the rest of this painting, and then we'll tackle the horse. Now the horse, because I mean that really is up to you. What you can. I'm putting a fence in there, so I'm not being. You know, there you go. It's there, and that's it. I don't really need to suggest every individual thing on that fence because it's in the distance. Just give an impression Oh, yeah.
You're giving the impression of a fence, you said?
Yeah, in the background there's a fence. I'm not going to paint absolutely every single detail. The image does not need it. It's you just need to give the impression that that's what it is. Because if you keep putting detail in background areas, you're telling the viewer that the important thing isn't actually important. That's important, and that's important, and that's important, and it isn't.
And too
You've
many
got to
things,
focus.
competing, they're all competing for attention.
Yeah, and then you lose the viewer. So
there's Ian Jackson's YouTube channel and the link in the chat again. Please, if you like what you see, please go over and subscribe.
and so I'm in a little bit of a rut, you know, because I'm what is it, 1,223, and I've been there for ages. It don't matter. I'll keep pumping this out and see how people feel about it. What else can you do?
God, you should be able to get some subscribers from here. People love what you're doing.
I think vast majority of people
support Ian, please support Ian's channel. If you liked what you're seeing, please go over. The link is right there. Please go over and
vast majority of people who are on the actual thing at this moment in time already subscribed to me. So
most of these people already subscribed to you?
I would say so, yeah. Which is, I thank you very much for you guys. I really do appreciate it. So
yeah, Upward Journal already got him, and Norgus R might not have him.
What I want people to do
Norgus R
is click the like button a bit more, because I get a lot of people watching videos.
Oh, they don't click thumbs up. You got to encourage that in your video. Tell them that YouTube really looks at the thumbs up, and it tells YouTube how engaged people are in a video, and that it really helps out your channel.
Mm-hmm. Can do. Oh, that's way too dark. Oh dear.
Oh, hi, Jean Bainey. She's popping in quietly to watch. She whispers, "Hello, everyone." She says she whispers, "Hello, everyone."
I'm just getting there's a fence here as well. Right, so I'm just getting that. Some say don't put a fence in front of things, but it depends. If you want to give the image a sense of isolation or not, you know, the main theme. I'm not sure. You
have one new subscriber today. I hope you have more, but definitely you have one.
Thank you, whoever that is.
Norgus R. She's a woman that she actually has a morning show every morning, and she does art therapy Tuesday.
Oh, I could do with some therapy.
Tuesday morning. Well, of course you're 5 hours ahead, and
so that's Tuesday.
Trying to remember, Art Therapy Tuesday is she has different artists and craftspeople on her panel.
All right, I think
she has a really good morning show that a lot of people like it.
I think I may have been on it once. I think, I'm not sure. So difficult keeping a track of.
Well, anyway, she left a comment. She left a comment on your video.
Yeah, I mean that's best thing to do, because if obviously if you're
I guess your channel trailer. Do you have a channel trailer?
On the intro, yeah, because
Yeah,
I'll
so
go and I'll have a look, and then
yeah,
I'll be able to
Norgus,
subscribe. If I'm not subscribed to anybody, I'll be able to subscribe back to them.
yeah, Norgus R. It's a female. She's a female artist. I think artist crafter. What kind Norgus art? What kind of art do you specialize in, or what kind of art or crafting do you specialize in, or do you do the most? I mean, or what's your favorite?
Multimedia. Is that what you're looking for? The word
Oh,
multimedia.
that's what I call myself, a multimedia artist.
You got to be these days, I think.
Well, you dabble in digital.
Yeah, I try as much as I possibly can to do a broad range of art.
You try to.
Whether
I don't want to be this way. I don't want to have to. I don't want to be a multimedia artist. I wish that I was like, I had like one art that I kind of do and that I would love doing and I would keep love doing, but instead it's like I do this kind of art and then I do mixed media. I do mixed media art and then I done iPad digital art and then I've tried watercolor. I've even taken some watercolor classes and I've done acrylic and I've done oil and I've done encaustic and alcohol ink painting now, but I'm focusing on that for the past several months.
I think it's good to get yourself a body of tools that you can work with.
Think so?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm just vaguely suggesting
Oh, let's see.
the.
And
You're
then
not going to see it absolutely because it's semi-rough ground this. So.
oh, that looks cool. The long shadows.
Yeah. Well, that helps give you the idea that the light is fairly low in the land.
Oh yeah. Oh, Elflord Journey. He says he's sticking with watercolors.
Well, my personal advice, and I've done lots of different types of art over years, is if you can stick to one form of art, make sure that you do that and focus in on it and become absolutely proficient at it. Because there's a lot of good artists who just do one thing. You know what I don't mean just a person who just does pretty butterflies and that's all they do. I mean there's a lot of artists who actually are a master of an art form, i.e. watercolors, acrylic, oils, pastels, pencil work, blah 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 blah. I mean even within watercoloring,
Well,
there's
you know
still
what
a thousand different types of watercolor styles.
Oh. I think you can do a lot of those things on the side that not necessarily what you're going to be known
absolutely.
for.
I mean,
You do it on the side to grow as an artist, but it's not necessarily going to be the style you're known for. So, like, yes, I dabbled with watercolor. I've taken several watercolor classes, but it's not going to be the medium I'm known for.
It's like a meal, right? You have a main meal with a set thing within it, but you might have certain side things.
Yeah.
You know that complement what it is that you're having in that meal, and it's up to you to recognize what those side things are. You know what art forms complement what you do, what you are doing as an artist, and if you can figure that out, that will be a really good thing to help you move along.
Oh, hi, Flower Glamorous. Welcome. And welcome to somebody else. Well, there's somebody. There's someone in here that's new to my stream. It's another person. Oh, she dance. Wait, let me. She dimes ASMR.
Hmm.
She dimes ASMR, and that person is new to my stream. So welcome.
So that's the majority of that finished. How long are we into the actual? How long are we in?
No, we have about 20 minutes left, or more.
Well,
If you need more, that's fine.
that gives me plenty of time to block in this horse. Now, I did say that this horse is not a key feature. The building's a key feature. That was just added to get rid of that blank space in foreground.
Right.
Now, is a ginger horse. Never easy ginger horses.
Ginger horse, like that color that's in the leaves, right?
Yeah, that's my problem. Have I got too much autumnal colour? Should I make it brown? A dark brown?
Yeah. I guess why? Because you think that's going to be too much of that color?
I don't know. Is it going to blend too much into the background? That's what I'm thinking. Or the thing is, it can be quite silhouetted, that. So what I might go for is a dark brown.
Yeah, because the red is going to pop more, and you don't want it to pop.
Yeah. So right. So right. That's sorted out.
Yeah.
I have got
a brown.
I have
Brownish.
got I've got a reference image for that, but because of the difference in the angles of the light, I won't use it because
Yeah, I'd say a brownish gray, or just gray or brownish gray.
Yeah. So see if we can grey it out a little bit. So you got to take into account that you got to have some light colour as well on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my backup plan. Remember that yellow? Remember that yellow?
Oh, One Peaceful Mind. Alicia says, "Wow, that's amazing." Because she had to step away and she came back and she goes, "Wow, the progress is amazing."
I'm going to go all the way around like that because light is going to hit that. Yeah, and a little bit where it's going to hit there is there.
Oh, the light's hitting that whole side of the horse, right? No.
Well, it's gonna like curve around it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend the dark brown into it so it looks three-dimensional.
Elf Lord Journey says the old gray mare ain't what she used to be.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I love the shadows of the fence on it, the long shadows of the fence.
That's what pulls all the painting together.
You have people in your house that are still watching a sports game?
No, it's over and done with. I can't believe it. England's lost 2-1. Can you believe that?
England lost to who?
Czech Republic. Who
Czech
are they?
Republic?
Czech Republic, who are they?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sorry to anybody else from the Czech Republic, by the way. You played really well. No, I'm painting now quite dry brushy.
It's funny because in the pubs they're watching these games, right?
Well,
And they have if they win, they have a reason to drink. But if they lose, they have a reason to drink. It doesn't matter. They got to drink whether they win or lose.
They're out for a drink, regardless.
They got a reason to drink whether they win or lose.
That's it. It's a win-win situation
for them.
Yeah, although it does turn you into an alcoholic. No, it's been a sad week for me because my beloved team that I watch, we've lost his manager.
Wow.
We're managerless.
What, he passed away?
No. They sacked him.
Oh.
I don't know why, because he was a really good manager.
And you don't know what happened?
No, they'll never let us know.
Probably some scandal that you're never going to know about.
No, it weren't a scandal. He just wanted to play a particular way, and management team said you can't have the players to play it like that, and he had to play with players that are not as good as they ought to be. That's what it were.
Well, let's see. Kylie wants to know, who do you support?
Barnsley, Kylie.
Alfred Journey wants to know if I am participating in the Great Pumpkin Challenge of Dina. I think so. I think so, but I better.
Having been told today.
What?
No, having been told about it today, I've just started think. Well, I've got an idea of something I want to do on it, but
the thing I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do a digital art piece.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's easy to do.
I mean, irrelevant, easy to do, isn't it? At the end of the day, if it's a good piece of art, it don't matter whether it's digital or traditional or somebody dancing around in a random manner. If it's good, then it's worth showing.
Printing it out. I mean, if you ever do print it out, you want to like print it. You want to have very high quality printing on archival paper.
Well, it's quite expensive, and I know there are companies that make high quality.
It's not too expensive. It's not.
Depends what you want from archival paper.
All the artwork in my last collection for my Etsy shop was all iPad digital art, and I had it available in 3 sizes, framed or unframed, all printed on archival paper. So it was pretty good. It was very, very good quality for a reasonable price. Very good quality for a reasonable price.
I just
not outrageous. If you want to get it framed, that really hiked up the price a lot.
On the subject, have you had a thought about how you're going to frame your new piece of artwork?
Because I have an empty frame that I have to measure to see whether I can use it. It already has a mat in it. It already has a cutout mat in it, and I have to see whether that painting could fit in it.
So what I'm doing is I've put. You can't really see it at this moment in time, but if you look, I've put paint in so I can take paint out in certain areas, and that's where highlights are going to hit.
Oh, that Kylie says the horse is the perfect color. I think so too.
Yeah, that brown. It were like a gingery color, and I thought, well, it's going to clash with this area, so it'll be all right because I don't want it to be overly dominant.
It's more of a silhouette, right?
Yeah, which is what it would be anyway, because it's close to us and there's strong sunlight. So it's going to be more silhouetted than anything else. And it's in keeping with that being less detailed than what that is.
Hi, Christopher. So nice to see you. And Christopher Bacon says your painting is reminding him of a Van Gogh.
All right.
And
What do you mean color-wise?
oh, Jean Bainey says really lovely. Norgus R saying he is amazing to watch.
So
And Kylie says the horse is a perfect color. Oh yeah, here's what Christopher says. He says there was a Van Gogh, a man and woman resting and laying down in a field of wheat. They were resting from the day's work. Oh, I think I know what he's talking about, the people that those workers.
I can't think of that one. I can. Oh no.
The hay fields, like when they would rest against the hay piles, and because they were resting against, you're cutting all the hay.
Yeah, I mean, thing is, in where Van Gogh comes from, they would have been quite used to seeing buildings like that as well. Because, again, like Kylie mentioned, it were a very popular type of building for barns in Europe a few centuries ago. So, yeah. But I've got to leave it for a short while to dry, because it'll just start getting mudded, and then I'll put the final bits of dark area in around
What,
it.
on the horse?
On the horse, yeah. And
to me, like the focal point is like the barn and the horse.
Well, it's at this stage, it's up to the viewer what they see. It's almost like the focal distance is between the barn and the horse. And everything else is like blurred out. It's got a fairly long focal distance. But I wanted to put something in there because otherwise it would have just been a blank space. And it wouldn't have said anything or done anything. I don't know. You got to make sure that you don't have too much blank space in a painting.
So now you're going to go back to some details on the barn?
Maybe a little bit, just tiny bits. I mean, this is where you can make a mess of it if you start doing way too much bitting and batting around. So, I'm not going to be doing an awful lot more. It'll just more than likely just helping you to define the various areas like that, you know. Because obviously that bit there it protrudes out a little bit. Therefore, it's going to have a bit of a shadow coming on, a bit more of a shadow coming underneath it.
All right, I'm going to post Ian Jackson's channel link again in the chat. Please check out.
Yay.
Some new people just came in the chat, so check out his channel if you like what you say.
Oh, and on top of these, I don't know why they have them. I'm not sure, but there's these like little mushrooms.
Oh no, it lost it. Now I have to go back and get it. I went to click on it, make paste, click and have paste, and oh God. Okay, let me try.
I'm not going to be putting too much. I'm just going to suggest it. If you see details on various things, don't always go for the obvious and put every little detail in. Just suggest certain things, and you'll find that you do a much better job.
How would you just suggest something?
Like, for example, see these little dots here that I put in there? That's all they are, the little dots. But when I look at the reference image, I can see all sorts of details in it. Now, I could get suckered into putting all those details in, but that would mean that the painting would be out of context. You got to try and make sure that if you're going to go all out for detail, go all out for detail. If you're going to just have a certain level of detail, then it's got to be consistent with the rest of the detail. Let's just see if I can. Oh, way too hard.
All right, please check out Ian Jackson's channel. If you like what you see, please go over there. And well, you're supposed to watch a video before you comment, but somebody put it on your watch later list, or put it on a like. Click a like on one of the videos, and that way you can go back to your liked videos, your recently liked videos, and get back to them that way, or watch later. Oh, Chrissy Canvas Art's here. Hi.
Hello, Chrissy. She's just got here just as I'm finishing.
She says they have them in chicken sheds.
Chicken sheds, yes. What, that size? Oh yeah, yeah. Because that's what it is. That's what the top bit is. It's the coop, isn't it? And that's where the chickens all go and lay their eggs and everything. And that's why they have these little ventilators to let air in. It's a chicken coop at the top of the. When they've been out all day pecking for worms, they go in there at night. They go up there into the coop at the top, and Mr. Fox can't get them.
What, the thing you're painting now, you mean?
Yeah, that's one of the things that they use these mansard buildings for. The top part is called a chicken coop, and they usher all the birds up into that area, and cats and animals can't get up there because what they do is they take the ladder away. I mean, that's the only way that you can get up. I don't know how they get. I know they put them up high so that animals can't get them. But it's called a chicken coop, isn't it?
Yeah, chicken coop, right?
Yeah, something like that. But it's really up high. It's above the rest of the building. You know, you'll have all your implements and your tools, and this barnyard will have all the tractors and all the, all the stuff that they use for doing land. And above that, they'll have another level, and it'll have it's like a ladder, but it's got wood underneath it so that chickens can walk up it. And then once you've got all your chickens up into the coop, because they can't fly, obviously, you take that away and they're safe for night. And they've got all the nests up there as well. So in the morning, they go up, they get up ladder, the ladder that's for the human, and they go and they collect all eggs.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how it's done anyway. Because if you have chickens at a lower level, Mr. Fox comes and gets it.
Oh, I see.
So
they got to put them on. They got to put them on the second level.
Yeah, they put them on the second level to protect them. And I think I'm done. I think I am.
Oh, God. We got a lot of people watching in here.
I'm just gonna.
Raz, welcome. And here's I just said something to Mr. Fulton. Okay. And I'm
just gonna define a bit here. No, you continue on.
Everybody's saying splendid. Mr. Grayscale Painting said splendid, and Kylie says she loves it, and she talked about how the composition moves her eye around.
Well, that's good, because you want to do a journey round the. Although there are key points in the painting, that's what you want to do with painting. You don't want to be just straight to one thing and then that's it. You need to have a journey around it.
The eye around the painting.
So let me just put an eye in, because he's not got an eye yet. Oh, he's not got a nose either.
And then Christopher Bacon says you could add a simple crow in the sky.
Do you know? I'm really happy with that sky as it is.
Yes,
you could put
but he doesn't want to add any birds.
You could put birds in the sky, but I'm trying to keep the background fairly simple, so that brings the foreground forward a bit more. Because the more you put in the background, the more it competes with your foreground. So.
Hi, John, and welcome, or welcome back, or no, I think you were here before. Welcome or welcome back.
There's just one last little bit of thing that I need to add that I've not put in, and that's like, let's get a bit of that. Little bits of foliage and grass there. That kind of blends it in a bit. There you go.
And then Christopher wants to know, would a bird distract?
No,
I think so.
I don't know. It's just that I like in this particular case. What I'm saying is, would it add to it?
Yeah.
I mean, on the fence. Do you mean?
No. He means. I think he means flying in the sky. I don't think you need it.
No, I mean, in another painting, generally they just put birds in the sky because they've made a splodge and they want to get rid of it. So I think it's already got like 4 key points to it already.
Wait, is that a magic number? 4, or should be 3?
No,
3 to be
it's all really depends on.
No, it should have like 3 or 5. To me, it has.
Can it carry that amount of information? That's what I'm saying. We have to be
me, it has 4 key points.
So you've got your horse, your 2 trees, and the barn.
No, that tree doesn't catch my eye. It's the barn and the shadow, the shadow of the fence on the ground, and the horse, and then the tree on the right with the bright orangey brown.
Mm-hmm. Well, each individual is going to see different things, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess
so. But anyway, I think let's just bring it up and look at detail, because there's one thing you can't really see.
And here's Ian's channel again in the chat.
So just reiterating what we've been doing. So we did a background, very simple. We're like a cobalty blue. We're a splash of yellow before it. And then we moved on to the background, which is very simple. A bit of purple to represent the mountain, and coming a bit closer, a bit of very light greenery. And then you come to your main event, which is this building, and it's corrugated steel. So I don't know if you can't on these web things, you can't really see I can when I take a photo of this later, you're about to see all the detail and everything on that. Like a reddish burgundy color for the roof. And then we came to this to sprinkle a bit of autumn into it.
Oh, it's not a red barn at all, is it?
It is. It's just that the camera don't really pick up that redness. When I show you
dark red, right?
It's like a burgundy red. You know, like red metal roof might be. It's not bright red, but it's probably been there for years and it's ready for replacing.
All right.
If you do it
Like the
too
old barn.
if you do it too strong and red and you make it compete with that, it's just not gonna. It
Oh
may not
yeah,
look right.
yeah, that's right. If you try to make it compete with those leaves.
I mean, the idea of this is it's an autumnal countryside scene. It's a barn that's seen better days, maybe not even used. Ooh, I mean, the photo I'm looking at, it actually doesn't look as though it's a used barn.
Oh, it does. You made it though look like that.
Well, I mean, you can make it either usable or not. I mean, the narrative is down to you at a certain level. Our painting and how you see that painting that's down to you. That's why if you paint it in too much of a defined way, you're not leaving space for the viewer to think, oh wow, this is this or this is that, or so you've got to like be slightly vague with things, or there isn't any room at all. You're being told what it is rather than thinking about your own narrative.
Yeah, right.
And these are key things that you have to think about when you're painting. It's not just about what colour is this and what colour is that. It's about what impression you want to give to the person who's viewing. How much of a hint do you want to give them? Do you want it to be open to their interpretation?
Oh yeah, I know, right. So
So
what's the size of that paper?
let me just have a quick look. It's probably, I've got a standard size for it now. So that I've been doing recently. So because you guys are in US of A, it's just over 11 inches and 1/8. 1/8 maybe, is it? Yeah. 11 inches and 1/8, or whatever you call it, by 7.5 inches.
7.5 inches by what?
11 and 1/8. So
Oh,
basically, 7.5 by 11.5.
oh. Oh, and then Elflord Journey says, keep it simple, stop and leave other details to the viewer's imagination.
That's it, exactly, Elflord. So I hope this has been informative for you guys. Don't know what else really. I mean, some people might at this stage go in and do a little bit more pencil work over it and give it a slight bit of definition. But
Really?
I mean, yeah, it's not unusual for somebody to do that. So, but
Oh, hi, Crafting with Fury. Welcome. You just came here near the end, but of his painting, of Ian's painting. He just finished his watercolor painting.
and one other thing is about this is by not over elaborating all this grass area and things like that, all I've done is like done a bit of dry work on it, really. Not got. I mean, I could literally like spend hours pouring every blade of grass in. No, just a bit of dry, just represent it, and that helps when you're doing more detailed things because they stand out more. I mean, I could have gone really elaborate around this area with lots of grass and everything, but it's better represented by just adding some dry brushwork in a different colour.
Yeah.
And it also gives you that like whoosh of colour that's going that way. It helps towards this idea that the sun is coming from there.
Right, because that's where how all the shadows are going.
Mm-hmm. Although, I mean, just take into account, right? This area here would, if it were a darker colour, would be quite dark. But because it's white, it's painted white. It's shaded, but it's painted white. But it's still got a casting of darkness at that side, because in real terms that part there is white, although because it's not got light hitting it, it's dulled out, but it still gives that idea that it's white, even though it's
Oh, Kylie says the shadows are more important in this piece than the detail.
yeah. And you'll find that's the case in a lot of watercolors. Getting the shadowing and the tones that touch one another and is part of the strong element of the painting. And you look at some of the top professional artists, what they do with shadowing and how they use shadows to link.
A strong element in their work, right?
Yeah, they use that to key everything together. You know, parts of, if you've got two separate buildings, one on one side and one on the other, they'll cast a shadow to the other side of the building and have that going on the other side to the other building. And it kind of links them in as a series of buildings rather than one's that side and one's that side separate. And you'll find that actually gives a real sense of depth and all sorts of other properties that help you create believability in your painting.
Yeah.
Oh, is Pecan Baby getting off?
Oh, where's Pecan Baby? She must have stepped away. Welcome back, Pecan. She must have stepped away.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait, she was just listening.
Uh-huh.
Okay, she gotta go. She has an appointment to bye, Pecan Baby, and Chrissy Canvas Art. I said good night to you already, and
Is Chrissy going?
yeah, she had to go. She has to go.
Right. Well, I mean, it's after 11 o'clock at night here, so.
But you're a night owl. You
I
stay up till
know.
like 4 in the morning,
But
right?
I've got moderating to do. So.
On a Friday, where with Art Bar?
I might have. She comes on at very random times.
Yeah, random times. But with
Sometimes.
the Monday thing is scheduled, but then
Yeah,
everything
that's a scheduled thing. That, but I don't know if she's coming because I believe over where they are, they've had some issues with extreme weather conditions where they've had to turn the electricity off.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed the news. I must have missed that part of the news.
Well, apparently we're on news about it over there, so that there's always extreme weather conditions in America. It never has anything other than that, does it?
Oh, no. Oh, in certain parts of America, not where I live, but sometimes we get sometimes we get some extreme, but where I live is we don't get extreme weather like some people, like some parts of California kind of get it on more on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Tornado Alley.
Mm-hmm.
And then
They have a lot of tornadoes at this time of year on East Coast, don't they?
What's that?
Coming up from Jamaica and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that usually hits the southeast. It doesn't usually. Those
Carolinas
affect us. Every now and then we get a hurricane that affects us. It's only every now and then because I'm in the northeast, but the southeast gets more. They get more affected by hurricanes.
Right. We just get boring weather all the time. Rain, more rain, a bit more rain.
More rain than sun.
Odd occasional sunny day.
Oh, only occasional sunny day.
This is England.
I know. I don't. I've heard about.
If you think that's bad, ask Kylie what Scotland's like. You say that we do have some nice weather occasionally.
Let's see. Hey, Texas made food. Oh, I really liked your video about the Philly the hot Philly cheesesteak, or how do you say they the kind of cheesesteak they are is flaming cheesesteak. He's a cook.
Flaming cheesecake.
I mean, he's a cooking channel. He's a cooking channel. He makes very interesting food.
Let's see. It's gone.
Texas made food.
Okay. 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah, I really want to try that Philly cheesesteak then.
I went to Glasgow. I went to Glasgow once to go and have a ride on a special train, and we got there early morning. It was freezing cold, and then it absolutely trashed it down. And before we'd left Scotland, it was sunny. So it's a fun. You can don't try if you come into Britain. Don't try planning what weather you're going to think you're going to get, because you can't. It's just not possible.
What? Don't you either just get rain or sun?
It can throw all sorts at you all day. I mean,
you don't get severe weather, right?
Oh yeah, I mean you can have a day. I mean, last week it didn't stop raining all week. I mean, our rivers were close.
Flooding, right?
Our rivers were close, very, very close to flooding. Very close. Closest I've seen for maybe 20 years. So had it not stopped for a brief time, it would have gone over our local river. So and it's very difficult to, I mean, because it's virtually a stream normally, our river. It's very shallow, but it's got really it's got really high banks though. It's banked up really high. So it went right up to top at banking.
And that's unusual.
I will do.
That's unusual.
No, I'm just replying to Kylie. If I ever get up Scotland, I will do. I'd like to go and have a bit of plein air painting if I can up there, because there's some lovely.
If you go to Scotland,
lovely places up there. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. So you're a few minutes away from a wilderness that's absolutely beautiful.
And I can't believe that the state animal. I mean, the country for the animal that represents their country is the unicorn.
Well, you'll have to ask Kylie about that. I'm sure she'll be able to explain why they have a unicorn.
Yeah. Oh, I have to ask her. Wow.
I know. There's a particular reason, but I forgot what it is. I can't remember. Somebody explained why they have a unicorn as the animal.
What's the animal for your country?
So it's the lion.
Wow.
Do you know, Kylie, why the unicorn is? Because we're talking, a lot of countries have animals that are real animals. Like, for example, England has a lion. The USA has an eagle. But there are 1 or 2 countries that have mythological animals, such as like Wales, that has a dragon.
What's Wales' animal?
It's a dragon.
Oh, okay. I had never
And
heard
Scotland.
never heard about countries having fantasy creatures. I think, but okay.
Like we say, Scotland has a mythological animal, which is a unicorn.
Right.
And
then they also have the dragon.
I think one of Eastern European countries has a three-headed dragon.
And the United States is not fantasy; it's a bald eagle.
Baldy. Well, it will be soon if they don't look after it.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to have them. Wonder if anybody has dodo. I think we might. I think we might adopt that in Barnsley. When we become a republic of Barnsley, our symbol will be the dodo.
The dodo bird.
That's so lovely. They do something as stupid as that.
Or what's the animal for Philippines?
I don't know.
If they have an animal.
Probably a chicken. Well, no, honestly, there's sound reason why, because there's more chickens in the Philippines than there are.
Is the chicken like sacred?
No, it's just what they eat.
Oh yeah, they eat they use every part of the chicken, like the feet and everything.
Oh, honestly, I've never. I'm not a big chicken eater, but since I've been married to Mrs. Jackson, who is a Filipino, I've never ate so much chicken.
So you never had so much Texas-made food. What do you think about Filipino food?
It's lovely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not grumbling.
Has Texas-made food? Have you ever eaten chicken feet? Have you ever eaten chicken feet, Ian?
Chicken feed?
Yeah. Have you ever eaten chicken feet?
Feet? Oh no, yeah, no. And my wife does make it now and again because she likes the bony bits. I don't know why. What's this? What's Kylie's saying? The unicorn represents purity. Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
Okay.
Innocence and power, as well as its mystical power.
Oh, I like that.
All right. Oh. See, because it's all part of heraldry and what it represents, isn't it? These animals have representative. They represent certain things, like a lion represents power and strength.
Right.
An eagle is far-sightedness.
Right.
Because it can soar in the sky, can't it?
Yeah. Freedom, like freedom, it represents freedom.
I suppose it's free to. I'm not sure whether. Well,
something like that.
I don't know. I suppose it's free to fly in the sky, isn't it? Because no other bird can reach it. But I'm not sure whether it represents freedom. I think it's more to do with far-sightedness.
And Crafting with Fury says the state animal. Are you saying the state animal for you, Crafting with Fury, is the Bigfoot? Bigfoot is your state animal? I can't believe that.
Well, that falls in place with mythological animals. It don't have to be. It's what it represents, not whether it exists or not.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Again, like
West is where all the sightings of Bigfoot have been. I didn't know they had sightings of Bigfoot in Kentucky.
I don't know. Is it the Yeti?
Now, oh, yeah,
are people saying Bigfoot is Yeti? I don't know. That's another one.
No, it said that the first Bigfoot was a mammoth cave.
A mammoth cave?
I don't know
A
what
mammoth
that.
cave, Bigfoot. Oh, it was found in a mammoth cave.
Oh, probably was found in a mammoth cave.
No, it said that the first Bigfoot was at Mammoth Cave. All right, that's where they first found it. Bigfoot. Right. Oh,
Oh, that's where they
wow.
found it. And since then, they've been see all the sightings are always in the Northwest.
Oh, wow. See, look at all this free education we're giving the people. How can they not come to this every week and learn more about the culture, monsters, art, general dribble that we normally talk about? What more do you want?
Well, we did. There was a good turnout today. They're leaving now, though.
Right. Well, maybe it's time for us to leave because we're at
Yeah.
2 hours and 40 minutes. So we've gone well over his normal 2-hour time.
Okay.
So I'll say goodbye to you all, and we'll see you on another plane of existence sometime in the future.
Yeah, maybe hopefully next Friday. We'll see Ian back again. But you'll see me back on Monday with another guest artist. I have another guest artist on Monday. She draws a lot, and she also does glass blowing.
Oh, we like glass.
She does glass blowing, but her main art is drawing, I believe.
Well, that's great because that's two things I like.
You never tried glass blowing, have you?
Oh no, it's just I wish I had equipment and a place to be able to do it.
Oh yeah,
like money to be able to do it.
Right, it's at a community place that she has to do it.
I tell you what, nearest I've ever come to blowing glass. Many years ago, there was this stuff you could buy, and you opened it and you put a straw in it and you blew it, and you could blow a bubble, and it's set within seconds of you blowing it. And that's about as close as I've ever gone to blowing glass. But I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that. So anyway,
she has to have. They have to do it in pairs, and her father and her go to this community place and do glass blowing.
Yeah, it's not something you can just set up and do.
No,
it's a real skill. People who do it as a living train to do that for many years. You know, all the barley twists and things like that they do. Because I've always fancied getting one of those really nice glass dip pens. Never got around to it, but one of these days I'm going to get one, and you can get some really nice ones that people actually hand make.
You're saying ballpoint pens?
No, it's not a ballpoint pen. It's a dip pen.
Oh, okay.
It's made out of glass that they blow, and you can write with it. You just dip your pen in it, in your ink, and you write with it, and it's a block of glass that the blow. So very nice. Anyway, thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Make sure everybody gets your thumbs up and everything.
Yeah, please put a thumbs up on your way out. If you didn't put a thumbs up, it tells YouTube how much engagement a live stream or video has had. All right.
Okay then.
All right. Thank you.
We'll see you when we see you all. Take care and enjoy your art. Enjoy your art.
Thank you for my moderators and everybody else. So nice seeing you today, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.